Update. So, decided to rebuild the Gseat since I have the motors. These little guys weren't cutting it at all, as I've shown in several other videos, so decided to upgrade them to the wheelchair motors. Basically, I just reversed those two around, put that pipe, just welded them in between to weld these two sections together, and then welded plates on the bottom of them so I can screw them into the wood there, and then there's a plate up there. And then had to move these wheels aren't the exact same bolt pattern as the other ones, so I had to cut these arms off, weld them onto these rims, and then these rims come really close in to where the potentiometer and belt is, so I basically shaved off this entire lip here on this side of both the drums to give it a little extra clearance. They're still not on there all the way. As you can see, there's still a bit of space in there, but that's fine. So then I had to cut the arms. This used to be the mounting bracket that was up here. There used to be the two drums would have hung off of hangers right here, and then it had the two connecting rods that went to this piece and this piece up here. I've drilled those out so that way they can take the big connecting rods. These are a lot more stable, so I shouldn't have the problem I had before where the flaps were getting all floppy just because the other connecting rods were real loose. They were just low quality. So now all we have to do is basically come on, twist, mount this into the paddle somewhere around there. I'm going to try and mount these as far inward as I can, so that way when the flap opens, it'll allow this to articulate. It'll allow that to articulate as much as possible without this piece here running into this piece here, basically. So that's the last thing to do, is to mount that, and then get everything all wired up. I can mount both sides, basically to screw those onto the paddles, and then find out where those connecting rods are going to go, and then weld up both sides, and then get everything wired up to the Arduino and get the power supply going, and then I can test this iteration to see if it's going to be powerful enough, the geometry's good. If it is, then I'll consider keeping it, but again, I might just take it all apart now that it's using 4 wheelchair motors. It's a lot of resources. Also, the other thing I'm not super happy about is I couldn't really get those drums any closer together, like further inboard more, which I really would have liked. I want them to I need those drums to be the shoulder width apart, so that way when the straps, the harnesses, the 5-point harness, when it comes through, it needs to connect to those drums. So if you look through the slat, you can kind of see the drum right there. There's that 2x4 in the way, but of course I can move that now that I don't have those drums and the hangers in the way there. I can just mount whatever I need to get those 2x4s mounted the distance they need to be. But now those drums are so wide, they're essentially as wide as the chair, and that is going to make it difficult for the shoulder straps. So I still need to figure that part out. But we're just going to get it working, get the arms moving, the paddles, and see what that feels like. Because again, the bottom paddles with the 24-volt motors, the wheelchair motors, those feel very good. They can lift me and everything. The back was just the problem. So hopefully this should resolve the issues with the Gseat.